Hi boys and girls, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Story Time with William D. Yeah! That's right, and I am the host, William D. Sherrill. This week, we are going to go through so many things that you won't even believe your mind that we went through them. That's right, boys and girls, starting with the word of the day, which for today is prostate. When someone has prostate is a very interesting word to choose because it is part of the body that if it is bad, you could get prostate cancer, which is not a good thing, boys and girls. You do not want that. I probably shouldn't be telling you. Well, some of you don't. Anyways, moving along to a joke for the day. As you all might remember, last week we had a contest for the best joke concerning a monkey, a banana, a truck, and a walrus. So, today we are going to read you the winner. There once was a monkey who had a banana. I guess that's a good start for a joke, boys and girls. One day he was walking along the road and he ran into a truck driver who was in fact driving his truck. Okay. He asked the truck driver if he could get a ride. The truck driver said, "Yes, you can, monkey, as long as you give me your banana to eat." So the monkey unwillingly gave the truck driver the banana. So then the truck driver drove along a road for many, many miles. And the monkey was talking to him about good old days and good old times when out of the blue a walrus came out of nowhere and destroyed the truck. That is worse than my joke, the one that I made. Anyways, boys and girls, wasn't that a fantastic joke? Thanks to little Jeremy, 5 years old, from Kentucky. Well, boys and girls, it is time. It is time for my favorite part of the day. It's a story, boys and girls, coming from that wonderful book that we all love. What is it called? That's right. The Big Book of Wonders. Without further ado, let's go! One day a handsome prince was passing through the woods and he heard crying. The crying was coming from a little girl who was sitting by the road. Unfortunately, the prince was off to slaughter the peasants of a local town for not paying their taxes. However, he was bored, so he decided to help the girl to find her mother. Surely the mother would award her for finding her daughter and give him a reward, perhaps by taking him to bed. So he rode through the woods with the little child tied to the side of his horse. He ignored her tears and her screams of pain. He decided he would have to give the mother a talk on how to treat children. After many hours of traveling, when the child had long since stopped crying and moving and was probably not breathing, he came across a small cottage. A woman hearing the sound of the approaching prince had gone outside to investigate. Seeing the prince, she smiled and beckoned him over. They both disappeared into the cottage and into the woman's bedroom. The prince lifted his hand up her skirt and ran it along her leg. Her skin was so pale and soft he could not help but ask her how she kept it so perfect. The woman smiled and told him that if he wanted to join her in bed tonight, he should stop asking pointless questions. The prince thought this was a reasonable request, and the woman undid his pants. Meanwhile, a dozen little eyes stared up through the floorboards of the house, hoping the little girl had gone to get help. Their voices, long since stolen by the evil woman, who was actually a wicked witch, they knew that if help didn't come soon, it would be too late. They would be drained. The prince finally laid back exhausted on the bed, and the witch smiled and kissed him. She told the prince she was off to have a bath and he was not to disturb her. He frowned. He had already seen her naked, so why would she be so chaste now? He got dressed and walked frustrated up and down the small room, growling in frustration. He broke down the flimsy bathroom door. He bit back his scream. The woman was laying in a bath of blood, eating the dismembered arm of a child. He tried not to look as he felt the vomit rise up to his throat. This sickly sweet aroma of blood flooding his nostrils. He leant against the door frame. "This is your secret?" He choked, trying not to look at the woman, but all she did was laugh. Hi boys and girls, and welcome back. We have a very special thing for you right now, because I have a guest for you, boys and girls. That's right, bring out the guest. Hi. So, would you like to tell everyone your name? My name is Wissel von Dusengazer. Where do you come from? I am from Transylvania, because of course I am, right? A nutcracker from the place where Count Dracula is from. Ah yes, haha. How long have you been in this country? I have been in your country for almost 2 years now. It has been a great 2 years, but I very want to go back to Transylvania. You have your own do you have your own show? I had a show. Well, should I say I had a pilot show. It never picked up though. Probably because the producer was an asshole and didn't want another episode. Wanted to make his own show about himself. That little prick. Well, boys and girls, say goodbye to our special guest. Later, William D. Sherrill. Bye, special guest. Moving right along, boys and girls. It is time for us to move along to a letter. Dear William D. Sherrill. That's me. The other day, while I was walking my dog, I ran into a squirrel. This squirrel was very lovely, for he knew everything. He knew what 1 + 1 was, which equals 8, and he knew how to count from A to Z, starting A, L, N, H, Q, F, T, B, Z. He taught me how to throw a frisbee with my feet. Where's this letter going? Anyway, he told me not to watch your show, that it was the worst show of all time, and that you're a horrible person, and that you should never ever be able to show your face online again because you are uglier than anything ever. Well, boys and girls, let's move on to a phone call. Go with the phone call.
Like, oh my God, is this William D. Sherrill? Oh my God, oh my God,
Well, boys and girls, that was a lovely phone call that I will be dreaming about tonight. Well, boys and girls, this week we had a very fantastic episode. We had a word of the day that I want to not remember, prostate. We had a joke that was very lovely, that kid had a very creative mind with how he wrote that story. We had a story that was very beautiful, very lovely, with no flaws whatsoever. It was so perfect that we're probably going to have a really good one next week too. We had a guest who, might I add, was made of wood. We had a letter that made no sense, and we had a phone call that disturbed me from my heart. Well, boys and girls, I hope you had a good week, because I know I did, and see you next time on Storytime with William D. Sherrill.